Hi there, welcome to Brick TV. My name's Chris, and today we're going to be looking at DC Superheroes Mighty Micros. 3 of them, in fact. So, what are Mighty Micros, for those who don't know? This is the superhero equivalent to the Star Wars Micro Fighters, which have been very popular by all accounts for LEGO. These retail for £8.99, I believe, in the UK, $9.99 in North America. So they're coming right in at that pocket money allowance kind of bracket, just that perfect sub 10 number that that kids and parents probably don't mind paying as a little treat. So they're fun. Sets like this, you don't expect a lot from them. They're quick, they're cheap, they're easy, and they're fun. So these, we've got 3 DC sets, and there's also 3 Marvel sets. So we're going to be looking at the Marvel ones in a different video. So this is just the DC. So we've got 76061, Batman vs Catwoman, 76062, Robin vs Bane, and 76063, The Flash vs Captain Cold. Each one, you get 2 cards. You can see in here, you get 2 characters, 2 vehicles. Think Wacky Racers back from the 80s. Very cartoony. They look like fun. Inside each box, you get 2 instructions leaflets, 1 for each character. And you also get a 3rd fold out, which is just a giant advertisement. There's the app thing, and here we go. So we've got the rest of the DC sets. And on the flip side is the most important thing, for me anyway, which is the part listing. And that's the same for each one. There's always 3 things in each one, and each character gets their own instruction sheet. So let's focus on a single one. We'll do them one at a time. So we'll begin with Batman vs Catwoman. They look great. I can't pretend they don't. They look great. In fact, what we'll do is we'll look at the minifigures separately. You can see how they sit snugly and they zoom about. So let's take the minifigures out and we'll address those separately. Because for me, and I know a lot of other people, the minifigures are what these are all about. The vehicles are just secondary. So we'll start with Batman's. So we've got a miniature Batmobile. Yeah, so far so polybag, really. And that is what these are. They're essentially 2 polybags in a box. So miniature Batmobile. That element's printed. That is a printed sloped tile, which is really nice. Onto Catwoman's. So we've got a purple Catmobile. That's nice. Nice little, making it look like a cat, little cat ears, and again, a printed slope. That reminds me of Toothless from that How to Train Your Dragon films. Posable tail, posable spoiler. Very, not much to it. Again, it's a polybag, but together they're neat. Are there any nice parts in it? Well, it's a lot of purple, a lot of wheels. If you like your wheels, you're going to be well catered for with the Mighty Micros. Most of them have got 2 sizes. Wedges, yeah, bit of purple there. Batmobile, lots of black, some nice black slopes. Yellow and black wheels. And just like any other polybag, really, it's all good parts if you like mocking or you just like making your own stuff. There's nothing to go crazy about, but what else do you want for £8.99? Okay, they're great, they're fun, but they're not really why I will be buying these. But I can see for the kids, there's a lot of fun there. So let's move those aside and let's talk minifigures. Minifigures being the operative word, because, and I'm gonna put these on a base plate so you can see, and I'm gonna put them. Here's one I prepared earlier. I've put them next to their alternative figures from other sets. So the two in the middle, these are the Mighty Micros ones, and the ones on either side are just comparison figures. So the first thing you'll notice is they've got short legs. So they've got what's essentially child legs. That answers the question, which I think when these were first announced, a lot of people were really excited at the prospect of getting cheap superhero minifigures rather than having to buy the £30-40 plus sets, to build your minifigure collection. People were hoping these were going to be a very cheap and easy way of kind of padding out your minifigure collection, and I think Lego saw that and they countered it, because what you have here are two, amusing comic book versions of Batman and Catwoman, but they're not a patch on the other full price versions, if you will. Each character has accessories. Batman's got his Batarang. Catwoman has... In fact, let's just take these off now, just so we're not confusing things. I'll put them back on to do some comparisons later. So Catwoman has a carton of milk. They get printed. Very nice. I like that element. And a gem. And Batman's got his Batarang. Let's get these out of the shot. Okay. So, printed faces, crucially, not double printed, which is something that we kind of come to expect in the superhero range. They usually tend to all have double-sided heads. Maybe saving on printing costs, I'd imagine, to keep the prices down. These are both unique heads. As we'll see when we get to some of the other figures, the thing about Mighty Micros is they're very cartoony. And I know these are all based on comic books and stuff, but these are really cartoony. They're skewing young, I think, on this one. So you've got Batman with a frown, Catwoman grinning. The Catwoman head is actually very, very similar to, probably the most similar to her original head. And that's just another variant of a Batman head, which, to be honest, could be interchanged quite nicely with any of the other Batmans. Legs are just plain black, so just plain black child legs. You can get them anywhere. Batman's cape back is the regular size cloth cape, so they haven't even gone half size on that one, so it kind of drags on the ground. No back printing as you'd expect on the legs. The torsos, as we'll see with all of these, they're simplified. The brand new torso printing, the same goes for the heads. They're brand new, simplified, cartoony. This is where I'm going to bring the others back on board so we can do some comparisons. Because if you're interested in these for your minifigure collection, you're going to need to know. So I'll start with Batman. Look, I mean, this is just, this is, I think, the Batman from the Defend the Batcave set, which was the juniors a couple of years ago. It's a pretty good average Batman. Compare the two. So you've got the Bat logo and you've got a very simple belt on the little guy compared to all that printing. Same for Catwoman. Again, the belt, the zip, but they're all simplified, increased in size, and just more cartoony, more childlike. That's when you just get these cowls back on. I mean, the only thing about the Batman is this is the brand new cowl type, which is standard on all current Batmen. Actually, I think these are actually good. I think if you put full-size legs on those two, I think you get away with it, to be honest. I think they're all right. I don't think that they're too far away from the previous and full-size versions, but they're clearly not those versions, so they're not a substitute, in my opinion. But they're good nonetheless. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which I really like this one. Robin versus Bane. And here we will see the comic book element really, the comic-y, the cartoony element really coming to the fore on this one. Particularly on Robin's face. So Robin's in a little tiny Robinmobile. Again, let's take the minifigures out and we'll address those separately. So we'll just look at the vehicles for now. So the Robinmobile, again, yellow black wheels. So it's got that that red, yellow, green Robin characteristic going on it. That's printed spoiler. That's a brand new element. It's nice. Two of these curved pieces, which I absolutely adore. Can't have enough of those. 1x4 red tiles. It's a perfectly serviceable buggy. Some nice little parts actually in that one. Silver, metallic silver exhausts. Now this I think is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love. So this is a smaller version of Bane's famous drill tank. I just think it's absolutely terrific. So more wheels. So this rotates, which is nice, and we've got lovely metallic silver on that piece, and then this is a harpoon that just goes all the way through. Twin exhausts. So some nice lime green, but nothing hugely to get excited about there in terms of mocking pieces. But I do like that drill. I think that's a lot of fun. Okay, so let's look at the minifigures. So Robin, who actually does have a half-size cape on this one. This is the current, so this is the new spongy material. He's got his usual grappling hook. Let's take his grappling hook off. So again, just like the previous two, probably more so actually than anything we've seen yet. That is really cartoony, isn't it? Look at that expression. Single-sided. Again, where we're probably used to double-sided. Look at Bane. Bane's got he comes with 2 sticks of dynamite. Okay, that's ace. I really like that. Again, look at that expression. Look at the torso. It's very cartoony. Let's go with some comparisons. Well, actually no. Let's get these on. We'll get these on here. We can look at them properly. So once again, I mean, I'm going to stop pointing out, but short legs. That's the thing. These are all short legs. So green and black. At least the Bane has got back printing on this one, which is what, and certainly on the head as well, which is what you come to expect from a Bane minifigure. Robin, just simple utility belt. The Robin torso is very, very cartoony, and as is the face. The Bane, that is not, as far as I'm aware, traditional. Is that B? I think that's Lego taking the junior option on this one, and they've come up with that design. The mask is authentic, but yeah, is animated. So let's get some previous Robins and some previous Banes on this, so we can do some comparisons. Okay, so we'll start with Robin on the left. Again, he's just a shrunken, simplified version. I mean, and this is probably from the Defend the Batcave Robin. There's been multiple versions of Robin. They're all different. They all use slightly different torsos and slightly different faces. But it serves as the example. This, when you compare the two, even if you put full-size legs on this little Robin, it's gonna look young. I don't think that is an adequate replacement, and I think that's exactly what Lego's idea is. I don't think these are designed to be replacements. They're just designed for fun. Okay, Bane. Bane's obviously that's a brilliant comparison. This one here, I mean, this is out of circulation. This Bane hasn't been available for quite some time now, so there is no current way of getting Bane via a Lego store. This torso is what traditionally his torso looks like. So they've gone. Obviously, there's no B. The mask. I really like the micro mask. I think that's really good. But when you compare the two, okay, yeah, it's not quite as grown up as that one. Look at the back. I mean, look at the back printing on Bane there. So you can really see what these are all brand new torso elements and heads for the Mighty Micros. The Robin printing, again, it's a much more simplified belt. I imagine that's got a double expression. Yeah, so that's got Robin's scared expression. So I think they're great. I think for what they are, they look terrific, but they're not suits. I don't think they're suitable replacements. Again, I'm maybe going to stop banging on about it. That to me was what I thought these were going to be, and they're not. But I'm going to keep doing comparisons so you can keep seeing, and then you can decide what you think is the best and which one you'd like to buy, if you would like to buy at all. All right, third and final. This is great. So the Flash versus Captain Cold. Absolutely great. So Captain Cold versus the Flash. Let's pull the minifigures out. And we'll look at the Flashmobile, which is cool. Look how cool that is. That's brand new printed on the printed slope. Very impressive. Posable spoiler. Yellow and black wheels. These are flexible as well. I've not seen them as flexible as this actually previously. I've usually seen them much more rigid, and I like the way it's like a flame sword, but I like how the red is actually distributed, and you can see that actually both are different. So no one is exactly, no two are exactly the same. So that's just to give that element of the kind of the flash speed. So I think that's great. It's not as good as this. This is Captain Cold's snowplow, which is just cool. It's so simple. Again, just like you get in a poly bag. You're looking at about 40 parts per vehicle. Every set has about 80, on average, about 80 parts in it. So there's not much to it, but they've given it a lot of character. Particularly this snowboard plow is a really nice touch. Smokestack, tow bar. I love these little elements. Whoops. The little bars. Let's just do that off camera. So yeah, that's great. So let's talk about the vehicles. Sorry, the minifigures. Flash and Captain Cold. So we'll talk about Flash first. As his accessory is his power bolts. So he's got a little can. This is, I've just looked this up. I believe this is brand new. I can't find this in any other set, so I think this is a brand new printed can. The ring pull element is not new. It's been used in The Simpsons stuff before, 5 sets including this, but always welcome. So that's just neat. And Captain Cold really just wins the day in terms of accessories. So he's got his snow cone, and I adore these little ice cream elements. They're great. They're great for smoke. They're great for smoke, and ice cream and bubbles. His cold gun. This is a much more simplified version of the cold gun that's come in previous Captain Colds. So let's get these on a base plate and we'll do some comparisons. Right. Okay. Plain legs. I've never seen printing on a set of small legs, and I don't expect it anytime soon. But what we've got is neat, clean front and back printing. With just great expressions. And again, nothing on the back. So keeping costs down. Right, so let's bring in the big ones. Right, let's kind of get that on there because it's the wrong way, idiot. Here we go. All right, so again, they look good. They look good. They're close. They're simplified versions of the full-size ones, and they're not worse off for it. But when you compare them, you can see the lack of detail. So, starting with the Flash, everything's bigger and there's less detail. So there's no muscular kind of torso printing there. The yellow Flash bolts are smaller, and again, Other than the lightning bolts, there's nothing else on the back. Captain Cold, much more simplified. Front and back. So in terms of the important pieces, the headpieces, the helmets, the hats, are exactly the same. They are the same element. I've already done some comparisons, so they're definitely the same headpieces. Faces, just cartoony as anything, and looking great for it. I believe, yeah, so we've got double-sided printing on the originals, nothing on these two. Both of the, I mean, right now you can actually get, these are current minifigures, the full-size ones. I think they're both in the Gorilla Grodd Goes Bananas set. So you don't really need these as a substitute if you left after the original Flash and Captain Cold, because they are still available. I mean, that was the only Captain Cold ever made, and he's still available right now. But these are perfectly serviceable. Even if you were just to swap the heads out onto the full-size bodies, I think it would look good. Okay. So, quick comparison, final comparison. Captain Cold's gun. So, that's the Mighty Micros gun. That's the full retail gun from Gorilla Grodd Goes Bananas, so you can see everything about it. But I mean, that'd look ridiculous. This would look ridiculous if you put on a Mighty Micro. But yeah, so you just a further kind of an example of how everything is just smaller and neater in these. Okay, let's sum up. DC Mighty Micros. They're great. $8.99. I don't think you can go wrong with them, to be honest. They're not the replacement that I was personally hoping for, but they do occupy their own space. They do their own thing. They're not trying to be, actually. And I think Lego would have been crazy, actually, to have just put the regular size minifigures in these and sell them at $8.99 each pounds. But you're essentially getting two polybags per box, and each one, if you take your time, you're looking at maybe 5 minutes per vehicle. If you use the instructions, if you decide to not use the instructions, give yourself a bit more of a challenge, you can maybe knock that up to 10 minutes, just trying to build them based on what you see on the front. But I reckon for the price, I don't think you can go wrong. If you ever see these discounted, fill your boots. They're great. They're fine. They're a lot of fun for what they are. And personally, I would be very happy to see Lego do a second series of these. But before that, we've got the Marvel. So that's going to be a second video. So head across to see that. If you've enjoyed this, please comment, like, subscribe, or share. Anything to spread the word, we appreciate it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.